Alright, y'all, what's good? I'm back with another Bible reading video. Hopefully today I'll make some shorts out of this one. I posted another one yesterday, but I didn't make no shorts out of it, so I might maybe do that later on. But for now, I wanted to get this done. I'm going to only read 2 pages right now because I might have to go somewhere in a little bit. So I'm going to just read these 2 pages, and then later on tonight, I'm going to read 2 more, hopefully, so that I'll make 4 for today. I'm doing pretty good with my progress. Today I did, unfortunately, wake up, and I messed up, but it is what I can't change nothing. I can't go back in time, but I'm not really upset. I'm just kind of, I'm just in that mode where I wish, I wish I didn't do it, or I wish I could go back and change it. But the whole thing about that is you can't sit there and wish that, because it already happened. It is what it is. I tried to fight it off as long as I could, and it is what it is. There's nothing more I can do about that, but I can change the future. So hopefully for today, just looking, I'm looking up, I'm trying to do better. And hopefully I can get that 2 weeks free. I was so close, but it's just, it is what it is. I'm still struggling. I'm still very new to this, so it is what it is. I'm going to try again next week. I'm going to try again starting now, actually, but... Alright, so we are on page 414 to 415, and I'm just going to start right now. Just going to be a quick Bible reading, by the way, but it is what it is. I'll read mine hopefully later on tonight as well before I go to bed, and then that'll make me feel a little bit better. But right now, it is just stating the names of the priests and the workers from yesterday, so I'm going to skip a little bit of that. Nathaniel, leader of the Judea clan, a genealogical record of the heads of the clans of the priests and the Levites, was compiled during the reign of King Darius of Persia. In the days of Elizib, Jehoiada, Joniah, I don't know what that is, all of whom were Levites, in the book of the Chronicles of Levite names were recorded down to the days of Joanne, the son of Elizib. These were the chiefs of the Levites at the time, so it's going to name those. Their fellow clansmen helped them during the ceremonies of praise and thanksgiving, just as commanded by David, the man of God. The gatekeepers who had charge of the collection centers at the gates were, and it's just going to name them again, so I'm going to skip over that. These were the men who were active in the time of Joachim, son of Joshua, son of Josedek, and when I was governor, and when Ezra was the priest and teacher of religion. During the dedication of the new Jerusalem wall, all the Levites throughout the land came to Jerusalem to assist in the ceremonies and take part in the joyous occasion with their thanksgiving cymbals, don't know what that is, and harps. The choir members also came to Jerusalem from the villages of the Nephthyoites, and also came from Bethegel and the area of Gibeah, for the singers had built their own villages and suburbs of Jerusalem. The priests and Levites first dedicated themselves, then the people, the gates of the wall. First dedicated themselves, then the people, the gates, and the wall. I led the Judean leaders to the top of the wall and divided them into 2 long lines to walk in opposite directions along the top of the wall, giving thanks as they went. The group which went to the right toward the Dung Gate consisted of half of the leaders of Judah, including Hoshea, Azariah. Okay, well, I'm not going to read that one because, again, I can't really pronounce those names. The priests who played trumpets were some more names. They used the original musical instruments of King David. Ezra the priest led this procession when they arrived at the fountain gate. They went straight ahead and climbed the stairs which go up besides the castle and the old city of David. Then they went to the water gate on the east. The other group, of which I was a member, went around the other way to meet them. We walked from the tower of furnaces to the broad wall, then from the Ephraim gate to the old gate, past the fish gate and the tower of Hanel, and went on to the gate of the tower of the 100. Then we continued on to the sheep gate and stopped at the prison gate. A lot of gates over there. Oops. Okay. Both choirs then proceeded to the temple. Those with me joined by trumpet-playing priests. And by singers. So it's just naming them. That's why I'm like skipping over a little bit. So it's temple. Those with me were joined by trumpet players, and then it says the names, and then the singers says their names. They sang loudly and clearly under the direction of Jezariah, the choir master. Many sacrifices were offered on that joyous day, for God had given us cause for great joy. The women and children rejoiced too, and the joy of the people of Jerusalem was heard far away. On that day, men were appointed to be in charge of the treasuries, the wave offerings, the tenants, and first of the harvest offerings, and to collect these from the farms as decreed by the law of Moses. These offerings were assigned to the priests and Levites, for the people of Judah appreciated the priests and the Levites and their ministry. They also appreciated the work of the singers and the gatekeepers who assisted them in worshiping God and performing the purification ceremonies as required by the laws of David. And his son Solomon, it was in the days of David, required by the laws of David and his son Solomon. It was in the days of David and Asaph that the custom began of having choir directors to lead the choir in hymns of praise and thanks to God. So now in the days of Zerubbabel, the Nephthah, the people brought a daily supply of food from the members of the choir, the gatekeepers, and the Levites. The Levites in turn gave a proportion of what they received to the priests, not in the priest, sorry. On that same day as the laws of Moses were being read, let me real quick fix my posture a little bit. Ugh. On that same day, okay, there we go. On that same day as the laws of Moses were being read to the people, oh no, that's not, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Again, my reading is all messed up today. Like, this is another reason why I need to stay away from all this, because like it messes up my whole flow. Because yesterday I was reading pretty good, and the day before that I was definitely reading really good. I don't know what's going on with me today. Let me restart. On that same day, as the laws of Moses were being read, the people found a statement which said that the Amorites and the Moabites should never be permitted to worship at the temple, for they had not been friendly to the people of Israel. Instead, they had hired Balaam to curse them. Although God turned the curse into a blessing, when this rule was read, all the foreigners were immediately expelled from the assembly. Before this had happened, Eliashib, the priest who had been appointed as custodian of the temple's storage rooms, and who was also a good friend of Tobiah, had converted a storage room into a beautiful guest room for Tobiah. The room had previously been used for storing the grain offerings, frankincense, bulls, and tithes of grain, new wine, and olive oil. Moses had decreed that these that these offerings belonged to the Levites, the members of the choir, and the gatekeepers. The wave offerings were for the priests. I was not in Jerusalem at the time, for I had returned to Babylon in the 32nd year of the reign of King Artaxerxes. Though I later received his permission to go back again to Jerusalem. When I arrived back in Jerusalem and learned of this evil deed of Eliashib, that he had prepared a guest room in the temple for Tobiah, I was very upset and threw out all of his belongings from the room. Then I demanded that the room be thoroughly cleaned, and I brought back the temple bowls, the grain offerings, and frankincense. I also learned that the Levites had not been given what was due to them. So they and the choir singers who were supposed to conduct the worship service had returned to their farms. I immediately confronted the leaders and demanded, "Why has this temple been forsaken?" Then I called all the Levites back again and restored them to their proper duties. And once more, all the people of Judah began bringing their tenths of grain, new wine, and olive oil to the temple treasury. I put Shelemiah the priest, Zadok the scribe, and Pedaiah the Levite in charge of the administration of the storehouses. And I appointed Hanan, son of Zakur, son of Mathiah, as their assistant. These men had an excellent reputation, and their job was to make an honest distribution to their fellow Levites. Oh my God, remember this good deed and do not forget all that I have done for the temple. One day I was on a farm and saw some men trading wine presses on a Sabbath, hauling in sheaves and loading their donkeys with wine, grapes, figs, and all sorts of produce, which they took that day into Jerusalem. So I opposed them publicly. There were also some men from Tyre bringing in fish and all sorts of wares and selling them on the Sabbath to the people of Jerusalem. Okay, so I'm actually done with that well, not exactly, not yet. Oh no, I am. I'm on Esther, Esther 1, and I'm on page 416 to 417. That's going to be it for today. Hopefully today I'll record something. If not, then I'll do it the next day, but who knows? But thank you all so much for watching, and I might do another video here in just a second, but I'm not too sure. But for now, thank you all for watching, and God bless you all. Peace out.